MLB offseason right around the corner, but before we get to the big moves, we still have the big awards to hand out. Baseball Writers Association of America releasing their finalists for each of the 4 major awards on Monday. We now have the top 3 for MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and Manager of the Year. So here's a look at all of the finalists from the American League. For MVP, we've got Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Bobby Witt Jr., not too many of us. A surprise there for Cy Young, Emmanuel Clase, Seth Lugo, Tariq Skubal, and Rookie of the Year, Colton Cowser, Luis Heel, Austin Wells, and Manager of the Year, A.J. Hinch with the Tigers, Matt Quatrero with the Royals, and Stephen Vogt with the Guardians. And here's a look at the finalists from the National League. For MVP, Francisco Lindor, Ketel Marte, and Shohei Ohtani. Cy Young, we're looking at Chris Sale, Paul Skeens, and Zach Wheeler. Then flipping over to Rookie of the Year, Jackson Chourio, Jackson Merrill, and Paul Skeens. And Manager of the Year, Carlos Mendoza with the Mets, Pat Murphy with the Brewers, and Mike Schilt with the Padres. And we are now joined by CBS Sports MLB writer and awards voter Matt Snyder to break down all of the nominations across the league. And Matt, we got to start with the biggest award, right? MVP, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, the clear-cut betting favorites to take home the award, but could also be the second straight pair to win the award unanimously in each league. How does this particular win affect both legacies for the faces of Major League Baseball?
Well, I'll start with Aaron Judge. If you look at the Yankees, the only players who have ever won 2 MVPs for the Yankees are Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Roger Maris, and Alex Rodriguez. You hear a lot of Hall of Famers in there. You know what else you see in there a lot? A lot of World Series rings. Judge would be the first Yankees player ever with multiple MVPs to not have a World Series ring on top of it. Obviously, the Yankees made the World Series this year. I do expect Judge to be unanimous. Just another unbelievable season. I mean, 58 home runs, 144 RBIs. That just jumps off the page. But he also hit 322. He slugged over 700. He played center field, which is out of position for him, but that's just the way the roster worked this year. And he actually was not that bad in center field. So an incredible year for Judge. On Ohtani, come on. First player ever 50-50. He scored over 130 runs. He drove in over 130. Ridiculous. He's going to be the first DH to ever win the award. What more can you say? 3 MVPs, only 12 guys have ever done. I believe 11 guys. He will be the 12th to him who have ever done that before. And so far, only 1 player has ever won the MVP in both the National League and American League, and that's Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. Ohtani is going to join Robinson on that list.
Yeah, you talk about the years both of them have had. Absolutely incredible, and then also both of them getting to the top of the game playing in that World Series. But let's go from top hitters to pitchers. Cy Young Award also has 2 clear-cut favorites, with Tariq Skubal leading the way in the AL and Chris Sale leading the way in the National League. Skubal took the lead by storm in year 5 with Detroit, and Chris Sale returned to ace form during his first year in Atlanta, setting himself up for his first career Cy Young win. Matt, have these 2 southpaws locked down the award, or are there some dark horse candidates that maybe we should monitor?
I do think they have him locked down here. And hey, let's point out Chris Sale, 7 times in the top 6 before in the Cy Young, but he's never won it before. So it's really cool to see him win it at age 35, and I do believe he's going to win it. But Zach Wheeler of the Phillies does have a strong case, so I suppose your dark horse there is Wheeler. Wheeler with 2.57 ERA, 224 strikeouts and 200 innings, but I think that Sale is going to get him by a nose. On the AL side, it's far and away Skubal, 18-4 with a 2.39 ERA, 228 strikeouts and 192 innings. Clase has a very good case for a reliever, but the workload for a reliever just isn't there. If Skubal wasn't around in the AL, maybe Clase would have been able to win it this year, but Skubal was just unbelievable on the mound as a starting pitcher, and there's just so much more workload for the starters. But hey, let's give credit to Clase, let's give credit to Wheeler, just like we could have done with Francisco Lindor, with Bobby Witt Jr., with Juan Soto in the MVP race. It's just because you don't win doesn't mean you did not have an unbelievable season. Clase had an unbelievable year for a closer. He just ran into a buzzsaw on Tariq Skubal.
Hey, Matt, let's go from vets to young guns, because there's plenty of top-notch first-year players to choose from when it comes to Rookie of the Year, especially in the National League with Jackson Merrill, Paul Skeens, and Jackson Chourio, all having breakthrough seasons that could be considered award worthy. But Matt, you have a vote in the NL Rookie of the Year race, so I'm not necessarily going to ask you your pick, but what does this finalist group of body work kind of just say about the future of baseball?
Oh, as usual, it's in great hands. It has been for the past 10 years or so. I kind of feel like when Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, and Manny Machado all debuted in the same year, that just totally set us on track for we're seeing guys come up at age 18, 19, 20 and excelling right away. And that's what we're getting with this rookie class, especially on the National League side. And I think that Paul Skeens, Jackson Merrill, and Jackson Chourio were so good that if this was a league-wide award, they would be 1, 2, and 3. They were better than any of the 3 in the American League in the finalists. And really, to have somebody like Shota Imanaga come over from Japan and dominate the way that he did for the Cubs and not even be a finalist, that speaks to how strong this rookie class is on the National League side. Chourio, remember, the Brewers won the NL Central. Christian Yelich was their best player for most of the season, past the All-Star break. A couple weeks after the All-Star break, he had a back injury. He was out for the season. Chourio went gangbusters down the stretch, put them on his back, got them in the playoffs. They won the NL Central. Of course, they had the heartbreaking loss to the Brewers in the wild card round, but still, for him to be who I believe is the third place finisher in this voting, it's a testament to how good Skeens and Merrill were.
Absolutely. A deep and talented rookie class, might I add. But let's give some love to Skipper, too. A nice crop of nominees for Manager of the Year this season, including 3 first-year managers and Guardians Stephen Vogt, the Brewers Pat Murphy, and Mets Carlos Mendoza. Matt, you giving some love to the newbies in this category? Or are you favoring some veteran leadership here?
I'm definitely going with the newbies here, but not necessarily with Mendoza on the NL side. I know a lot of people would have wanted Mendoza. I think Pat Murphy's going to win the award. Look, with the Brewers, in spring training, they traded away their ace in Corbin Burns. They were already without their number 2 starter, Brandon Woodruff, because he had surgery when he was out for the season. Devin Williams, elite closer, goes down with injury. As I said, Christian Yelich went out with a season-ending injury in late July, and still the Brewers won the NL Central going away. It was an incredible job right there by Murphy, especially replacing Craig Counsell, who's very well respected, to the point that the Cubs essentially stole Counsell. Hey, we can pay him or we'll steal him. Murphy steps right in and says, hey, we'll win the division anyway. On the American League side, I like Stephen Vogt. I know there was a big push for A.J. Hinch, and I actually late in the season said I would vote for Vogt. And a bunch of Tigers fans yelled at me and said, how can you pick him over Hinch with the run the Tigers made? And it was pretty simple for me. Vogt replaced a legend in Terry Francona. He lost his ace very early in the season in Shane Bieber to a season-ending injury. They were in first pretty much all year. They never trailed by more than a game and a half. And while that run by the Tigers was great down the stretch, I want to go with the body of work, the season of excellence for Stephen Vogt here over just a 6 to 7 week run.
Still, nonetheless, some incredible candidates there, very noteworthy and very worthy of being in that position. As always, Matt Snyder, we appreciate you stopping by, and I'm sure we'll be talking about the finalists and the winners as time goes on. So here's a look at the full MLB Awards release schedule. So Monday is when we'll see that Rookie of the Year on November 18th. Then the next day on the 19th, Manager of the Year, followed by Wednesday, November 20th. We'll see who's that Cy Young winner, followed by maybe the most anticipated of them all, MVP winners. I feel like we have an inkling of who that might be. That'll be revealed on Thursday, November 21st.